So just out now on a lovely sunny Sunday morning, trying to catch up with some work. We're just seem to be chasing our tails at the minute, running way behind and stuff, either through weather or just jobs taking longer than they're supposed to or whatever. So this is a new one we're working on. The customer has his own guy doing the building construction work, stone work and stuff like that, which suits us perfectly at the minute. And we're just going to do the fiberglass and the filtration. Levels in the pond. It's going to be a pump fed system. I'm not too sure if you can see. Just up in the back there's a concrete plinth, and behind the hedges and stuff there's a pump fed Oase drum filter going in there. And then we've got the skimmer here, which is just going to come around the back of this pond here and feed up into this concrete chamber, which will fill up. It's going to be completely surrounded in stone. You can just see the stones and stuff out there. This is all going to be cladded in stone, and then there'll be like a stainless steel blade coming out over the front of that. So I'll have the fiberglass all in around that today as well. Yeah, it's a big enough pond, so it's going to be a bit of pressure to try and get this all done in one day. Yeah, I had to put some, I've had a bit of issues with the damp coming in through the bottom of the pond. Now the different shades you can see here, that's not actually wet, so it's just whatever they've used for the base. But there was a bit of a puddle underneath the bottom, in this bottom section of the pond, so I've just put 25mm king span in, and we'll get the fiberglassing done today on that. And there's not a lot of water coming in, but there would be enough that you couldn't fiberglass it straight onto the base. So the 25mm king span just lets us get the fiberglassing done. That's the thing. It's been dry for the last week, or pretty dry for the last week. If I didn't get this done today, there's going to be a massive amount of rain in the next few days, and we'll just be back to square one again. It could be another few weeks before we get it done, so just have to bite the bullet and crack on and try and get it done. Yeah, so that's the fiberglass all finished. I didn't get this top bit here. I'd like to see. It's going to be like a planted thing at the top of the pond with a weir going out over the top of it and then down into the pond. But yeah, it's turned out quite nice. I think I've done pretty well to get that done in one day. So yeah, so we'll just leave this now for the guys that are coming tomorrow, if the weather's not too bad, to start the stonework. And then we'll come back, run our pipe work in and get the filters installed. But the main priority was to get that fiberglassing done, because I think that's going to be the last dry day for a week or two. So, or the dry spell anyway. I think there's a few dry days, but if it rains like it's supposed to tonight, this would have been flooded again in the morning. So it's good to get that done now. We can crack on with the rest of it. Yeah, so I'm back today at this pond build. Just had to finish a bit of fiberglassing off. I never got it done last weekend. The waterfall, I ran out of resin, just couldn't get it finished, and I had to do a bit of pipe work to allow the guys to crack on with the landscape around the back edge of the pond and get the stones around the edge of the pond. Yes, you can see here This is all the sandstone type stuff that's going to be going around the edge of the pond. They've got this paving all done this week, and this is going to be like a seating area just all around here. I had to get this finished today with the fibreglass, and it's just going to be a bit of a waterfall. There's a stainless steel blade going in there, and then this will be stonework around the inside of it, and we'll put a few plants and bits and pieces like that on the inside. When they get the stones all finished, we'll have to, obviously, but as you can see with the state of it now, with everybody working around here cutting stone and stuff like that, you get a bit of dust and dirt. But it's a good sized pond. I think it's probably going to be about 3,500 gallons. There's going to be, it's a pump fed system, so there's going to be a gravity return through here. And then this morning I was just doing this pipe work, so the guys can get all this stone finished. This one here is going to be a stand pipe. We'll put the Oase Profi guard in there for the automatic top ups. The pipe here on the right hand side is the 2-inch, that's coming from the pump that'll be in the pond. And then we've got an EA Very pump, 10,000 here, which will run around the pond to the waterfall. Yeah. So I'm away to Cork now for a week for another job. Hopefully by the time I get back up from that, all this stone will be finished and we can get all the inside of the pond all cleaned down, sand it back, any wee lumps or bumps or anything like that there is on it, and it'll be ready for filling. Yeah, so just back out now at this job we've been doing up near Hillsborough. The stone guys are really well on now with the surrounds and the pond and stuff like that. I'll just flick this round for you. You see, yeah. So with all the paving pretty much finished round to here, and they're just working now getting the stone that's just the far side to do, and then obviously this sort of like water feature thing here needs to be, the cladding and stuff needs finished on that. I'm just getting the last bit of pipe work in. Today I'm heading off to America tomorrow to Fitz Fish Ponds for the Koi Fest thing. We're just trying to get what I can finished. If I can get these pipes in today, that'll let them get all the landscaping finished around the pond. And then just up to here, we've got the Oase drum filter has just arrived, so got it up into place and we'll start getting the pipes up into it. There's 110 watt UV going on this as well, so we get that all fitted when I get back from America. Just get all this pipe work finished, and that'll not hold anybody up when I'm away. But it's certainly starting to take shape. We'll give all the pond, will need a good clean out just whenever we're finished. The guys are cutting a lot of stone and stuff around the edges. There's no point doing anything with that at the minute. We have had to put a bit of water in the bottom just to stop the groundwater lifting the fibreglass. But starting to look pretty special. It'll be a really nice pond this when it's finished. Yeah, so we're just out now with this pond all finished. We're delivering some fish out. It's been running now a few days. We've had some of the bacteria products in, Evolution Aqua filter start and stuff in, and yeah, we're going to be putting all the fish in this morning. I'll just run quickly through the pond. Yeah, it's about 3,000 gallons. It's a pump fed system with you can see like a water blade and stuff at the top here. That's literally just been finished off planting and stuff in the last couple of days. I'm not too sure how much video I got while we were building it, so there might be a lot of stuff before I'm saying all this stuff. But yeah, so the filters are pumped. It's a pump fed system, and it's pumped up in behind here. This has literally just been all finished off. It's an Oase drum filter, the pump fed version with the Evolution Aqua 110 watt UV. There's two Vari pumps. There's a 30,000 Vari pump feeding the main filter, and then there's a 10,000 which is doing the water blade in the distance there. We've also got the Oase Profi Guard for the water levels, and an Evolution Aqua inline dechlorinator. Yeah, so that's the drum filter. We just got, there's a top up there with a hose. The probe for it's in the stand pipe inside where the skimmer is, and maybe have a look at that in a minute. I've used a few of these pump fed drum filters. They are quite good. The client wanted something that he could connect to his the phone and stuff, so there's the controller here, but then it actually goes on to the Oase cloud control, so you can check for manual cleans and stuff like that on the app. You can also add a lot more stuff on it. You can add pumps, lights, all different sorts of things. The one thing that we haven't finished just yet is there's an air source heat pump going on here, and obviously the water temperature is sitting about 15 or 16 degrees at the minute. It's not so much of an issue, but we've just left the pipes on the bypass system here, and then over the next week we'll get the heater fitted into here, and then we'll get the temperatures run up to sort of about 18 or 19 degrees just to help the filter mature that bit quicker. But I'll go down here now and get the fish into the pond, get them floated and get them settled in. Yeah, so just give those bags about 15 minutes there to float. Get used to the slightly different temperature. The water they came out of was 17 degrees, so it's not that big a difference really, but give them 5 or 10 minutes. Just some more of the pure gel to go in here. We'll just do that. Have the UV and all switched off. It's very important when you're putting any of these bacterial products in. Just knock off the UV 24-48 hours. It just gives the bacteria a chance to settle out on the surfaces. Or if you leave the UV running, you're literally just burning money, because as the gel passes through the UV, it'll be neutralized. Yeah, that media is turning over really well now. So it's been in there quite a few days now, so I'll probably put about half of this in, and then we'll add the other half in a few days time. You really don't want to put too much of the bacteria stuff in until there's a food source for the bacteria. Yeah, just like so. You can see that media there, a nice blue colour. If you put this stuff in too early, if I put that in a week ago, there's no food source at all for the bacteria, so the bacteria literally just dies off. As generally when we were putting stuff like this in, we would put the fish and the bacteria in at the same time. While they're floating, we're going to put a bit of salt into the water. We'll probably just bring the salt up to about 0.3%. just help adjust as the fish are settling. Obviously it's a new pond, we've put plenty of the bacteria stuff in which will help things along, but yeah, they are still going to get a bit of ammonia and nitrite, and the salt will just help the fish through that as well. Once we get the heater on the next week, we'll be able to raise the temperature, and that'll just speed things up a bit quicker again. Yeah, but just looking around here, such a big change over the last week. The customer's done a really good job. Like, you'll probably see it maybe if I got some of the earlier video, just how much of a change there is in this. All this hedging stuff arrived the other day there. The tree ferns, the acers and stuff like that, really going to finish the look of the pond off. All this, as said before, when we were doing it, was just open ground as such. The paving, and then there's a seating area has been put in around here, and the stonework looks fantastic. I think there's a bit of a challenge getting it in, so there was from a couple of different quarries. It does look really nice, and it's really come together over the last few days. I think the customer had a big event here at his house yesterday. Had to let a couple of the fish out quickly. Just one of the bags ripped as I was putting it in. So there's a few of them in there already. You just see that filter bacteria there clouding the water a wee bit. But as soon as we switch the UVs on, that cloudiness or the grey cast of the water will disappear pretty quickly. Yeah, so that's the fish all in there, settling in rightly. We left strict instructions with the customer not to be feeding them for a while. Just let them get them settled in. I'm going to add this salt to the pond now. So it's about 3,000 gallons, so we're going to put about 2 bags in, which will bring it up to about 0.4%, and then it'll just drop away as the filter cleans and stuff like that. I'm sure there's probably going to be a few people going, oh, you need to mix this salt up. What I've found is if you mix the salt in buckets and then add it up to the pond, the salt level jumps too quickly. So as I dump this salt in, the salt level won't go up that quickly because it takes a while for all that salt to dissolve. And the other reason, if it's good enough for the breeders to do it this way, it's good enough for me. I've done it this way for 20 odd years and never any problem. The koi know to stay away from this part of it. They'll just stay away because they can sort of detect the change in the salinity or whatever of the water. So that'll just take a couple of hours to completely dissolve down, and it'll bring the salt level up slowly in the water, rather than a big shock just going from 0 to the 0.4 within 10 minutes if you mix it in buckets. So just one last thing to do now on the pond before we leave here. The skimmer drill. I forgot to put that in before I put the fish in, but I just put it in now. It'll be mastic up to the front grid of the front entrance of the skimmer. It sits well back inside the pond, like, or inside the wall, sorry. But I'll just put this up against it. It's already cut and measured for the water level, so that any leaves and stuff will just skim straight through that opening across the top of it there, you can see.